Hi, you should subscribe to the Menards Club. Because the principal of Saiyans told you to, idiot. Bye.
Yo, what's up guys? This is James bringing you another deck profile for DBS Masters. Today I'm going to go over a deck that I absolutely love. It's Cell Reboot. Can never get tired of this guy. And I like to play him a little spicy. I've got some spicy cards in here, so I figured I'd just share my list with y'all because it's a lot of fun. So we'll get started. If you haven't played him before or played against him, you're probably pretty lucky because he's not very fun to play against, but he's got an activate main once per turn. You can place an android from your hand under him, draw one, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with cost 3 or less and KO it, which is pretty oppressive for all that early game development. People usually try to build their Z energy with low-cost battle cards like that. Then he can awaken if your life's at 4 or less, and there are 3 or more cards, under him. You draw one, switch one, go down to 5. 5 is a really good number because it sets up your token negate. Then on the back, he's got auto, when he attacks, you can place an android under him from your hand, and then you draw 2. Great deck cycling. Doesn't specify a green android either, which is excellent. And then he has an activate main once per turn. You can place 2 cards from under him into the drop to KO a battle card. Any cost, doesn't matter, and then he gets plus 5k in crit for the turn, so he's basically always a 20k crit. Put a card under him, draw 2, and he gets to pop a battle card regardless of cost. He can take care of tokens that a blocker too. Very, very great leader. One of the best reboots they've ever made, honestly. Get into the engine. So we play 4 of the promo. This card is broken beyond belief. It's what makes the deck still competitive to this day. This is the mulligan condition for the deck. You want to look for him or a copy of one of your top 5 searchers to look for him. He's got Deflect Double Strike. He's a 6 cost, and then you can activate main limit 1 for a green. Place a card from your hand at the bottom of the deck to play him from under your leader. And then when he's played, you KO an opponent's battle card, again, regardless of cost, and then you get to play a green cell with energy cost 1 from your drop. And when he's placed under your leader, with your leader's skill, presumably, you can search your deck for up to 2 of your engine pieces, Android 17, 18, or Cell, with cost 1. Put them in your hand, and then if you added 2, you have to discard 1. So that's extremely useful. It just sets up every play in your deck, plus it's a 20k double strike with a KO attached to it. It's everything you could want and then some. The bottom decking is really useful, too, because it can get your Cell pieces back into your deck, so you can keep using them. We got 4 of the 17 top 5 searchers. Search top 5 for green android. Doesn't matter the cost. And then you can activate main. If he's in play, you can put him under your leader, so you get to that awaken condition a little bit faster. And then he is, top 5 search for the Cell, which is great. If you're going to open with this card, this is a fine card to keep because it gets used 5 more looks for this guy. So ideally, you'll use your leader ability first to put an android under him. You draw 1, and then you can search top 5 for your promo. You don't get to search off your promo on that first turn, but it gives you 1 extra look to find this before shuffling your deck, so it's better to sequence it like that. 2, Android 18, these just draw a card, and then they slide under. I'm not playing the 8 drop, so we're not really using her for the name. We just want more plays for turn 1. This gives you 10 potential plays for turn 1, plus we have a Cell in here as well, so you got 11, which is a really good number in 50 cards. I try to stay at 50 cards with this guy because the promo, again, is just so important that you just want to see it as consistently as possible. For these guys are broken, 10k crit. You can play them for free if an opponent's battle card is KO'd by one of your skills, like your leader skill that Omni kills anything. 10k crit, and then they have an activate main if they're in play. You can slide them under your leader and draw 1. So it gives you free fodder for your leader to keep going, and it draws you a card. It's just so free. The only way to play around this is to just not play any battle cards that don't have barrier, which is pretty oppressive. Great card. As I said earlier, I do play the engine, so I've got 4 Cell 1-drop absorbers. They can both come into play for free if you meet different conditions. One is you have a Unison play and your opponent has no battle cards in play, and one is that you KO an opponent's battle card with a skill. And then both of them have an activate main. If you have a green Unison in play, they both have a Union Absorb, so both of them can Union Absorb an Android 17, and then, so that can be either of these, and then go into the 4-drop from your deck in rest mode, from your deck or drop, and then it goes into this guy, who's a 16k barrier, and then if he's played from the deck or hand, you draw 1, which is nice, so that's why you want to keep tucking him back into your deck with the promo if you can. And then he's just a 16k beater. He does have a Union Absorb effect, but again, we don't play the big guy in this deck. You could if you wanted to. It just felt a little unnecessary and clunky. One copy of the Cell Chrysalis form. The second ability, it doesn't matter. It's just auto when it's played, draw a card. So it's another cell you can tutor off of this. So once you've exhausted your 4-drops, you still have a guy that just draws you a card every time you play this guy. Plus, again, it's another turn 1 play, which is nice. We've got the cool card. This is from the new set. We've got Cell Complete Terror. He's really, really cool. He's an 8-cost yellow android, and then he has an EX Evolve. If you have 3 or more energy, you can put him on top of a cell with an energy cost 8 or less, which is every cell in your deck. It's pretty cool. He has an auto when a player attacks. It's not just him, and it's not just you. It's when a player attacks, you can use a card from him under him in a combo with its activate main skills negated for the turn. The activate main part is just for the other cell archetype. But what you can do is you can Union Absorb into this guy, right? And then so you put him into play off of your promo. You can Union Absorb your guy into this. And then if it's turn 3, you can evolve into this. And then you can start swinging, right? So you can swing, and this can combo with the 10k for free under here. So this guy's basically a 35k crit on his own when you do this. Plus you have 2 more combo power. So it just builds you infinite Z energy and is a really cool beater. Plus it's just a nice little looking card. It's a really, really good looking card. So nothing wrong with that. And then we got, our classic green beater in the deck. This guy gets around barrier, and he's just insanely good, and he's been a green staple and will be for the foreseeable future. Just such a great card. If you don't have him, you should pick him up if you're playing green. Super combo is 4 Great Saiyaman. He's not an android, so he's not tutorable, unfortunately, but he does help us put our cell pieces back in our deck. He helps us you want to make sure you're putting tutor pieces back into the deck for this guy, too, so that throughout the game you can still find them, because you will run out of them pretty quickly. Plus, you just draw through your deck so easily with this deck once you get set up that you don't want to deck out. That's a real problem, actually. So putting them back in the deck is better than the Paragus a lot of the time. Got our interactive suite. We've got 4 Dormant. It's Dormant. We've got 3 Homicidal Clones. 1 Frieza Charismatic, because that's all you're allowed to play. I don't main deck any Unisons in this deck, but I have the Z Unison, so if you ever want to go into these cards, you just make a Z Unison, which is what's really nice about the Z Unison stuff, is it's just on-demand Unison. A couple more to gates. We got 2 of the King Piccolo Aerial Battle. Great card if you're playing non-Saiyan, and guess what? We're a non-Saiyan. One thing to remember is you don't have to play him on your opponent's turn. You can just play him on your turn as a 20k crit for 1 that kills a marker off a Unison and KOs a card. Very good. 1 Android 17 Impending Crisis. This would probably be the 3rd KP, but it's nice to have an extra target for your leader, and then it's a negate that your promo can search up, because it's a 1-cost Android 17. Very cool. 2 of this card. This card's stupid. Just if you want to get rid of Unisons, this is the card. It's just great. 2 Jiro Double Strikers. So this gives an Android plus 10k in Double Strike for the battle, essentially. It's really, really oppressive with your leader. If you awaken turn 1 or turn 2, you can awaken turn 1 in this deck with an energy marker now. You can just send for 30k double crit on their first turn before they even get a chance to cut into their life. Stupid. Secret rare is Bursting Rage. You can play the Cell Max if you want to for the cheesy burn kill, and it is tutorable off of the Android 17, which is really nice. But I like to play the deck really aggressively still, and this is still really, really good for those just gassing people out really quickly. Plus, it's a great defensive card too. It can just buy you an entire turn, because our negation isn't great. We don't have a ton of floodgates, and our floodgate of choice is Dormant, which can be worked around with big guys, so this can save you in a lot of spots. To go along with that, we've got the Cell's Earth Destroyings, so this can be played for free off of your Z leader, so it combos really well with the Bursting Rage, but also it kind of functions like the Jiro, where just in the early turns, if you slap this on your leader's crit, they're not getting out of it, plus they get a random rip out of their hand before they're even set up, so again, very oppressive. I've thought about maybe switching the ratios around on this, where we have 3 of this and 1 of this. We'll see. Overwhelm is Vegeta Feigned Greeting. It's a hand rip, so this deck hand controls really well because it's green. It's just a bunch of crit beaters plus guys that say discard. So at the end of the game, usually your opponent's low on resources. You can just gas him out with this card. And we're still playing the Valiant Breakthrough. So this guy's got an Activate main. If your opponent has 4 or more energy and you have a cell with energy cost of 4 or more in play, you play him from your hand, and then you switch one of your opponent's cards to rest mode, which is usually going to be one of their energy to help just obliterate them on your turn 4, or your turn 5, their turn 4. Great card, very bricky. It's a yellow sand. It's like completely out of archetype outside of the ability, so it's like pretty much a brick until turn 4. So that can be a little frustrating, but otherwise it's just such a great card that I still want to play it. Z deck is pretty straightforward. We've got a bunch of Z unisons. You just pick your favorite for wherever the spot is. Bardock's usually the go-to because he's great. He gives you card draw. But SS4 Vegito's got his spots, and so does Oolong, because sometimes you just got to get one card out of their hand and then you're good. We got a Jiro in case we want to awaken faster. It doesn't really come up that often, but sometimes you just need to cut like one more life to be able to kill them through like a floodgate or something. Frieza, it's kind of like the Oolong. Sometimes you just gotta get that one card out of their hand, plus it pops 5 or less. Jiren for more unison removal. Bojack, I don't have the Cell to combo with it, but it's still just like a solid guy. SS3 Broly, this could probably be a second Broly, honestly. This guy's okay. He's like the best Z card for green, probably. We got one of the Kamehameha, and then one of the Cell Leader to go along with the Double Strike. This guy beans himself on play, so that's why it's also just great on defense with Bursting Rage. I guess you could technically hard cast it in this deck too, but that doesn't really come up. We don't spend our energy like that. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit us up in the comment section below. Again, I just love this leader. I can't put him down. He's been one of my favorites since he came out, and I'm just glad that they gave him some great support, and he's still pretty competitive. So, see you in the next video. Bye.